Episode 7. Thank you, everybody who has been tuning in with us for this R2P Origin series. It really is a behind-the-scenes look at everything Rehab to Perform over the past 6 years. Tonight, I will be diving into some things associated with the optics of the brand, branding in itself, things that make a company visually appealing. And I think, fortunately, I can sit here and say that there are a lot of things that have been a staple that started in that first year and gone through the entire process and still remain with us to this day. We definitely knocked it out of the park with certain things, whether or not it was luck, whether or not it was just some things that we were able to put together that were maybe more mature than our actual business was at that point in time. But it started, to be quite honest, with this. This logo, I feel very, very confident saying was a home run right out of the gates. It was clean, crisp, very, very, very modern, as people would keep saying. They loved the negative space. And this, to be quite honest, was something that I used a website and a service in 99 Designs. So 99designs.com. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast. There was a discount code, and the way that they described being able to have a ton of different designers design a design for you from all over the world, as opposed to just picking one designer, potentially in Frederick, Maryland. I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. You went into the platform, you answered a questionnaire, you were able to sit here and pick right out of the gates from, say, 6 designers' logos, rate it 1 to 5, type in your little text feedback for each of the people there, and then honestly, after that, it was like you'd have 18 people watching you. So you would automatically be in a situation where every single time you were offering up feedback to logos, you were getting more designers that wanted to be a part of that process, and they were pretty much bidding their work for your time and attention. And by the time we were done, it was over 250 different logos, and we had a logo that literally within that first year, people were asking us if this was either a big corporate brand or if we had purchased a franchise. They felt that strongly about how the logo looks. And I'm obviously extremely biased, but it is very, very well done, and I can safely say it will never change. The things that I noticed early on that I pulled from were outside of healthcare. So when we talk about some of these things here, it was where did you find inspiration? And admittedly, like fitness for me, it was something I always enjoyed working out. I played tons of different sports growing up. I was an athlete at Ohio State. Got exposure to various fitness entities. And then during my brief stint as a professional lacrosse player, which I'll say lightly, it's not quite semi-pro Jackie Moon, but it's definitely not one of the big 5 leagues. Nonetheless, being exposed to different fitness businesses that were scaling, right? They were franchises, or they had grown rapidly on a corporate level, or they just had a national presence because of the level of quality of the service there. I was able to pull ideas from those particular places, honestly, because healthcare and the businesses and business practices within healthcare and medical are so underwhelming, and they still are. I still feel like we're light years behind when it comes to healthcare and medical business, especially when it comes to the branding side and creating visually appealing businesses. But the messaging that we were able to decide on early on that was in the waiting room, that was above the door when you walked out, and that was also found elsewhere closer to the treatment tables. But, motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. That is a quote that is in the front of the waiting room area, and it still is. It is powerful. It speaks to people right when they walk in. That will never change. When you walk back to the treatment room area, it is a comment or a quote from Thomas Edison, really promoting a physician, right? Or a medical person who is going to educate you on the human frame, on things like nutrition, right? Which to me screams out education and empowerment, okay? I love that quote. It's in the treatment room area. It kind of gets people's mind right? Okay, you get the motivation and habit thing in the beginning when you first enter the business and you're sitting down and you're getting ready for your session. You walk back and you start to have a better idea of how we view our role with you. Educate you on frame, educate you on things involving wellness. And then when you leave, be greater than yesterday is over the exit. At that time, it was over the door in our sublet space. Be greater than yesterday. You left, and ideally you're putting yourself in a situation where you are better than you were yesterday. So that messaging being such a critical piece that we were able to acquire and be a part of our business early on, right? Outside of that, I don't quite know where I found this on Pinterest, but we had the idea to put t-shirts up. If you come in, we want to rep you, okay? So you come in, it's your gym, it's your high school, it is your club coach, or your club program, whatever. We want to rep you. So come in, bring us a shirt. We're going to put it on a canvas, and we're going to put it up. And every time you come in there, you can say, hey, yeah, that's me. And not only that, but it served as a conversational piece for people in other sessions where they'd go, oh, hey, you work with so-and-so? Which then ties into validation. We were able to get some higher profile people earlier on. Very, very fortunate with some of the relationships we had, in particular, our relationship with the massage therapy group. When you have some NFL shirts very, very early in your career up on the wall, that is things that really bring you immediate credibility, and they really help out, and that's that external validation piece that then comes in. You have online reputation, which obviously is awesome, but when you get that validation of working with a higher profile kind of athlete, that's something that can be probably the price of 50 Google reviews, or the level of clout associated with that amount of Google reviews. So the other thing that I will say that we did early on was whiteboards, right? We wanted to get rid of the paper sheets. Hey, you have a knee issue here. People would just kind of go, oh, okay, I got the same cookie cutter knee sheet as the last guy, but we're very different and we want to do different things. So those custom whiteboards, when I always thought of whiteboards, I thought of education first and foremost, and I thought of individualization and specialization. You're creating a plan and process for this human based on where they're at and then where their goals are aligned, okay? Where you've aligned on those goals for that individual. And then the last part that we did, and once again, more like mimicry, where are you looking? But I saw a lot of places give people swag day one at some of these fitness places, knowing that we could do certain things to reward people for getting to that end plan of care, that graduation day, right? How do you gamify a plan of care? Well, you can call it something different, right? Where they're pretty much graduating instead of discharge. Medically discharged, I think of just leaving a hospital, right? Graduation day, I think of going through a curriculum and then eventually putting yourself in a situation where you have achieved, right? There's a sense of fulfillment, achievement associated with that day. And not only that, but the company's going to get, oh, wow, this is a nice workout shirt. Oh, yeah, I'm not only proud of my graduation day, but I'm going to rep this company. So you talk about the opportunity to then have your people that you've worked with go out and market for you. So that first year, we were very, very fortunate for a wide variety of different reasons. Some things I'll say are luck, some things is right timing, some things, I would say are just largely due to the manner in which we were approaching that branding piece, but overall feeling very fortunate that some of these things that we found within that first year are things that still are mainstays within all of the locations and will be for the years to come. Thanks for sticking around to this episode 7 tonight. I really, really have enjoyed sharing with this. I've had tons of great questions and just honestly some of the comments, even from some of the people that have been able to honestly go through this process with us over the years. But we'll be back at it. like I said, 31 days of January, 31 behind the scenes looks at Rehab to Perform. Stay tuned.